in race number 3, I do believe, in the Oldskoolz Graphics and Design Sunday series here with Sim500 alongside John Mush, and I am Ben Kilcrease and Aaron Grosskopf. Going to begin in the picture that you see to you here tonight. We thank you for tuning in live right here on the Sim Racing Network, and how convenient, just like that, we come live. Had a small blip there. You may have saw us go live just a couple minutes ago. We had to change some things and get everything sorted, but we're back on the right track, and now, John, it's time to run everybody through the starting lineup, so we'll do that. And on the pole, with a time of 31.006 seconds, it's the number 39 of Daniel Falkingham to his outside, 3/1000ths off of his time. Tommy Ryan will be in the number 99.
And qualifying third fastest, 42 car of David Comstock to his outside, and number 4 slot, Justin Full in the 5 car.
Ryan Howard's going to roll off 5th there in the number 33 with Steve Marinak to his outside in a 15.
And coming in 7th fastest, Eric Arnold in the 31 to his outside in 8th. A guy who's looking to turn his luck around and keep it going good, Dan Denier in that 10.
Joey Wood's going to roll off 9th in the 07 with Dwayne Vincent to his outside in the number 10. And the rest of the starting field going to scroll across the bottom of your screen. 43 cars strong here tonight, John, and weather at the track right now, can't pull it up, but we'll tell you about it. 121 degrees track temperature, 80 degrees air, but that track temperature is really going to make this thing slick.
Well, they call this place Hot Atlanta for a reason, Ben. Even in the middle of February, 121 degree track temperature is going to do one thing, and it's going to make everything slick and greasy, and it's going to make those tires slipperier than normal quicker. We saw guys in practice making about 15 to 20 lap on the tires before they got just crazy loose on the turns on them. So that's going to make things really interesting for us.
Talking to our in-race reporter, we'll talk to him a little bit later in the race. Chad Cole, he starts 34th tonight, did not put a qualifying time down, so he'll come from the back and see how far he can work his way through the field. But talking to him, John, earlier in the garage area, he says this thing drives eerily similar to the Cup cars. Not as much power, but when they put the hammer down off of turn number 2 and even on the front stretch, he says it starts to get a little squirrely in the dog legs on the old tires. So this is going to be one of those tire conservation tracks or races. And, we've got some of the best tire savers in the business. So I'm really excited to see how this race is going to unfold. 110 laps coming up.
It's going to be a fun one, Ben. I'm just really concerned about the tires because like Chad said, when we talked to him earlier, this thing drives like a Cup car, and everybody knows that thing is a beast to drive on Atlanta. And with these weather temperatures of 121 and climbing, it's going to be a nightmare. But here we go, buddy. Coming to the green here shortly.
Getting set to go racing for 110 laps at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We thank you for tuning in. This is part of SRN's Triple Threat Streaming, and we're getting set to go racing. Falkingham, Ryan on the front row. We're racing at Atlanta.
I'll tell you what, that was a pretty decent start by 39 of Falkingham there. I'm not sure if Tommy spun his tires or he's just taking it easy at the get-go, but he's got a challenge from the 42 of Comstock down there on the inside, take that second spot away. Don't know if he's going to make it work, though, down there on the inside, because we've seen already in practice that the outside's pretty strong.
Comstock works the bottom. He's maybe clear by the time they get to turn 3. He'll bring Fuller in the 5 with him as Tommy Ryan going to drop from 2nd to 4th on lap number 1 as they work their way through 3 and 4. Daniel Falkingham and that number 39 going to take the early lead. Here at Atlanta, he leads lap number 1 while the field kind of gets sorted out behind him. Good battle there for the 6th position between Eric Arnold and Steve Marinak. Marinak trying to work that top groove. Arnold trying to work the bottom side. And John, as the run goes on, the bottom where to be right now, but as the run goes on, that top side going to come in more and more and more, especially down in 3 and 4. You'll see the guys start to move up towards the middle part of the racetrack. You'll see that a lot tomorrow in the Trans Service Cup Series. It's really going to be an interesting race. Multi-groove racing will be aplenty once we have some wear on these tires.
Absolutely. I ran a B car open race today, Ben, 120 laps, and it was about, I guess, lap 50 or 60 or so. We had a really good grip on the middle of the high side, and especially once the tires where we went, I think, almost 60 laps on a set of tires. And, it started off great, and of course it was open, not fixed like these guys, but the car started off pretty good for us, and then about 15 laps in, you got that usual really screaming loose. But if you could survive that towards the end of the tire run, believe it or not, the car come back to us. So we might even see that tonight with these guys. They'll get a lot of rubber down on this track if they get a good long green flag run, get some pit stops in. We could see guys making that middle of the high groove work really, really good for them.
Absolutely, and even over the course of the run, John, this track will almost acts as a dirt track in some cases. The further up the track you get, obviously no moisture here on the asphalt, but it seems that way if you're talking to a dirt guy. The further up you find moisture, you find a fresher track to say. The grip levels kind of pick up. That's why we talk about drivers start to move up the racetrack. You'll even see it further back inside the top 10 here with the 07 of Doy Woods. He's trying the top side down in 1 and 2, John, in the early races throughout the week in the A cars and the Cup cars. John, they're all the way up against the wall, all the way up against the safer barrier down in 1 and 2. Same goes for 3 and 4, and even the bottom is still fast, at the end of the tire run. So not only is tonight's race going to be fun to watch over the course of a tire run, but you guys are in for a show tomorrow night as well when we hit the track in the Trans-Service Cup Series right here at Atlanta.
Atlanta's one of my favorite tracks, Ben, and I am really looking forward to tomorrow night's Trans-Service. Oh, we got a caution on track. Let's see where that's at.
Caution out for the first time here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and it's going to be, it looks like,
the 62 of Sean Dewar.
Yeah, and Ryan Cole Wilson in the 05. Yeah. So Ryan Cole Wilson gets the bumper there from the 92 of Jason Lester down in 1 and 2, and around he goes. Wilson just, he has had some bad luck streak himself over the past couple of weeks and not really starting to weigh out here at Atlanta like he'd like.
Well, I apologize. I got the wrong car there, but the reason I said this too is Sean's got a lot of right front damage. Looks like maybe something might have happened to him at the beginning of the race. I'm not real sure, so my apologies on that to our producer. He's probably looking for the wrong car there.
Yeah, I do believe Dewar may have tagged a wall earlier in the race, but he'll have a perfect opportunity to come down, get that damage fixed here under this first caution period. 7 laps in, John. Got some nice wear on those right sides, I can imagine, for at least the guys that are trying to get every position possible. We'll see everybody down pit road, but like we saw last weekend and numerous times before, I can guarantee you one of these guys up near the front, top 10, going to try the 2 tires and see what it's like after 7 laps.
Absolutely. There's nothing to lose right now. Now's the time to try it, see what happens. Other than wrecking yourself, that's really nothing to lose right there. But I'm looking at the leader. Daniel's taking 4. Everybody behind him's taking 4. It looks like we got one guy back there. It looks like he took 2, but it looks like it's going to be 4 tires for everybody all the way around.
Looks like Coleman in the 20 may be one of the first drivers to try the 2-tire stop, if I'm not mistaken. No, he's actually on 4. So Coleman just a very quick stop there. Gets out a little bit further than where he came in. Nonetheless, though, caution out here for the first time at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll work lap number 8 of 110. This is a pretty good distance race, John, for these guys. And, I know Falkingham and Comstock and a lot of these guys in the top 5, Chad Coleman. These are the kind of guys, Byron Daly, these are the kind of guys that love a long green flag run. They love conserving their stuff at the beginning and really showing, their true colors, their full strength late in the runs when the tires really start to play havoc.
Absolutely, especially Comstock. We've seen him so many times throughout the series with the Sim500 group, Ben, just like you said, just conserve his stuff. And sometimes he'll fall back a little bit, kind of like Steve Sheehan used to do. He'll just fall back a few spots, 5 or 6 spots, and then hang out there, and then boom, next thing you know, after about 40 laps on those tires, here he comes to the group. But, look to see that more of that. I mean, he's already in second place right now, so he's not going to fall too far back. But I tell you what, I'm really impressed by Dan Denayer's run tonight. Even though he's back there in 12th and, started 8th, he's always had some bad luck, it seems like. Every time we see him, he's in a wreck that somebody else started, but he's right there in the top 12. It's not too bad.
Not too bad. Still early on in the race, so over 100 laps to go. 101 when we get to green flag here. Let's hope not. You know how the announcers curse
He'll
works,
never
so.
forgive me.
Here we go. Set to go racing. I called it race number 3 earlier. My apologies. It's race number 2 here at Atlanta. Last weekend was Daytona. And that win went to the driver who is leading right now, Daniel Falkingham. He's going to go, or look to go, 2 for 2 here tonight at Atlanta. The field is doubled up. We've got them racked and stacked and set for the first restart of the night. The pace car going to duck to pit road. Field in the hands of Falkingham. He's in the gas. We're back underway.
He's got a really good restart there. That was something we saw earlier in our B Open race, was a lot of spinning of the tires if you're not real careful. So he's got this down, though. No spinning of the tires for him. He gets a pretty decent little start there with Comstock and Tommy Ryan in third. And it looks like, was that Marinac back there in fourth. So we got a pretty good little run going here, and they're kind of singled out already. We got some 2-wide action back there, Ben, between the 06 of Byron Daly and the 5 of Justin Fuller. Looks like, Fuller's got that spot of 8th, and Daly wants that spot.
That he does, and just in front of them, some side-by-side battling with Howard and Coleman there. That'd be for the 5th position. Coleman had it at the line, and he'll look to take it away from the 33 down in turns number 1 and 2. Looking for a slide job to the back straightaway, and he'll get just that. Coleman now cracks the top 5 after starting 11th in this race. So up 6 positions already in 10 laps, and albeit 4 of those were under caution.
True, and let's not forget, he's another one that likes to sneak his way into the shot there. But I tell you what, we've got some double wide still going on back here between Daly and Fuller, and then just behind them, looks like the 22 just grabbed that spot from the 30. That's Macklin and Jordan Hightower there duking it out.
Gonna go 3 wide. Sorry to cut you off there, John. And Fuller had a handful off of turn number 2. The driver of the 5 trying to sneak his way through the middle of Daly, and I do believe that's the 07 of Doy Woods. Couldn't quite make it work there. Close call nonetheless as Fuller continues to fall back there in the 5. John, he sits 9th right there at the line. He started 4th, and he's going to turn. Byron Daly saves it, does Daly. What a great move. And he's only going to lose 1 position from that, maybe a couple more while he gets the momentum built back up.
It bottlenecked everybody behind him. We got the Tabasco car of the 13 right there of Dwayne Vincent. But I tell you what, that was good on Fuller for letting the 06 gather himself up and save that car. Brilliant driving by Daly in the 06.
So we've got Tabasco and Louisiana hot sauce, and right in the middle of that's cornflakes. I don't think that's a very good combination.
Well, hey, don't knock it till you try it, brother. I'm just saying.
Nonetheless, Donnie Leo there in the 32. Good run for the driver there as he sits 12th right now. Jordan Hightower, the 13th there in the Louisiana hot sauce, number 22 Camaro, and just in front of them, that battle that's ongoing. I can guarantee you Daly did not appreciate the bump that he got from Fuller there, and Fuller's probably a little worried to get back in front of him because he knows that he may get the favor returned.
Well, Fuller drove that in down there pretty hard, and that's why I'm saying he was good enough he knew he made a mistake, lets the 06 of Daly gather it back up and catch that car. It just dawned on me, we've got 2 hot sauce brands in this race, so it sounds like to me that this Oldskoolz Grafix and Designz Sunday Night Series might be a little spicy.
You went
somewhere
there.
In this world, Mitch Rollo is getting ready to throw something at me.
There you go. I was going to make the comment about Mitch. How about Steve Gottschalk back there in 15th? Good run there for the Nerfinator tonight. Brian Macklin just in front of him, sporting the American Lung Association Toyota Camry paint scheme this weekend. Looking very sporty there in the number 14 as well.
I tell you that
in spot 14. Sorry, John.
Yeah, no problem. That was interesting. I don't know who checked up there, but you saw that accordion effect there, Ben. Very common, especially when you get these guys running nose to tail, or what is it, bumper to bumper, or tail nose, whatever you want to call it. But little accordion effect there, and that always wakes you up on that. Oh, somebody's blinking out there. The 30 car.
So we'll see if we can.
Oh, his ping's climbing. Yeah.
Yeah. So he might be in jeopardy of losing connection. We'll keep an eye on him over the course of the next couple laps. Good battle back there between Denaire and the 12 machine. Assembly going to make quick work is Assembly over that number 10. That'll be for the 16th position as we've kind of worked our way to the to the just inside the top 20 here, but still some great battling going on. You see Michael Keaton there in the mix in 19th, and rounding out the top 20 would be Joey Jattina there in the 14. All these guys really putting on a good show back here at the back of the pack, and up front, not missing much. It's Falkingham, who has led, I do believe, every lap so far of this race. Sitting second. Comstock. Third is Tommy Ryan. Fourth is Steve Marinack, and Chad Coleman rounds out the top 5. Is really the only good racing we've got going on. I don't say good, but the only side-by-side racing we've got going on is between those guys inside the top 20 there. Keaton gets the wall on the back straightaway. Denayer got loose off a 2, and the 85 of Cody Welch got a little sideways as well. Everything getting a little jumbled up back here, John. This is right now the longest green flag run of the night.
And this is where we're going to start seeing those tires start to give up on, not give up, I guess, but get slick is what I'm trying to say. They don't, it's hard to explain how it works in iRacing, folks, if you've never done it, but it's not that they wear down to the point where they're going to explode, but they get real slick and greasy, and your car just, it's all over the place. And we're going to start seeing that a lot with these guys, especially coming off turn 4 and literally through the trial, well, not the trial, the dog leg right there. Ooh, look at that. The 7 just came tapped to the 10 car. They're thinking about taking a 3 wide right here, man. This could get crazy. Calantoni
backs out of it for a good cause there. Gonna, be a little patient here early in the going. That's Chad Cole going by the 84 machine. Chad Cole going to be our in-race reporter if we get the chance to talk to him under one of these cautions. Cole started 34th. No qualifying effort, and Keaton saves it. It took him about half the back straightaway to do so, but he's going to pull it back up on the line. Is a number 7, and now down in the 3.
Right,
almost pushes up in front of Jattina. Close calls all around the place, just inside the top 20 back here, as it's really getting squirrely for these guys.
That's what I was talking about, man. These cars, and the fuel's burning off, Ben, so that adds to the problem, and it takes a really good, hard focus in these drivers to keep this car under control. Jatina's another one. He's looking to try and turn his luck around. Seems like every time we see Joey again, he's caught up in somebody else's mess, so it looks like he's got a pretty decent run going. But, these guys, they're going to start moving these cars up, Ben. I guarantee it. A smart driver will. They'll start looking for that grip somewhere on this track, and they're going to find it about halfway up, to the wall and higher. Oh, look at that. The 84 just got real loose coming off 4. Chad Cole there. That's like, a trouble spot right there coming off 4.
Absolutely. Really going to have to start watching both ends of the speedway. And look at Cole there in the 82, all the way up to the top shelf down in turn number 1 and 2. And look at the run to the back straightaway he gets. That's what I'm talking about, John. Further and further into the run, the further and further you go up the track, the faster and faster you're going to be. And you saw just that as Chad Cole going to try and complete the pass on the 10 of Denayer to the front stretch, and he'll get by him there. That'd be for the 18th position. So Chad Cole has cracked the top 20, looking for a spot inside the top 10. Tonight's race is being brought to you by Oldskoolz Graphics and Designz, and since John is one of the head painters over there, I'll let him give the plug and tell us a little bit about Oldskoolz, John.
We do everything from custom to retros. You name it, we do it for you. We do all cars. There's no limit to the class of car we do. We do NASCAR, IMSA, all the road course cars. So you got something in mind, hit us up over at Oldskoolz Graphics and Designz at Facebook, and we'll give you a quote. Our usual prices aren't too bad. We're pretty competitive, and tonight, if you hit us up tonight only, we'll give you $10 off your first paint job if you're a new customer. So yeah, we'll do that.
There you go. Mention you heard it on the Sim Racing Network and save yourself a little bit of cash. Right now, we're going to save ourselves a little bit of breath as we pause 10 seconds for station identification. Welcome back to Atlanta, and we're watching Calantoni in the 84. All sorts of sideways, John. That right rear probably used up a little bit on that machine by now.
And that's not going to stop him. He's going to send it down in a 3 right here. He's got to stay off that apron, man. That's what's going to get him, is getting that apron right there. But he survives. He gathers it back up. And look at that, the 41 right in front of him of E.J. O'Rourke just got wicked loose, but didn't even get out of the throttle and pulls up next to Keaton going down into 1.
Yeah, I tell you what, John, I haven't driven this car here lately. When I did back in a couple seasons ago, it was so tight you were plowing and almost hit the wall every turn. Now they've loosened the setup up, they've loosened the car up. It's really on the loose side. I can only attest to the Cup car that I've been practicing, all week long, and this almost looks just like the Cup car. Chad Cole told us it felt like the Cup car, and boy, if it's anything, close, John, these guys have got their hands full. It gets really sideways, especially with the track temperature now at 126 degrees. And
84.
Calantoni, sideways, almost gets the blue cone there, but saves it down into turn number 3. They'll try 3 wide. They'll think better of it as we go back up front to check on the 2 leaders. Or actually the 3 leaders. Here comes Comstock to the inside. It's a pass for the lead up front. Can he make it work down on the bottom? Or will Falkingham fight back on the outside? Slide job. Gets it done to the back straightaway.
That's Comstock, Ben. I mean, we see it all the time. These guys have been on track now for, let's see, they went back to green on lap 39, 40, I think it was, somewhere around there. This is not a surprise at all that, he's got himself, I'm sorry, lap 30. lap 10. They went back to green at lap 10, and here we are at lap 30. So 20 laps on these tires. I love Sundays. And he's making he's doing what he does, man. He makes his way to the front, makes a good clean pass right there, and he's actually pulling away now from the 39 of Falkingham.
Absolutely, and we watched those guys at the back of the field, and no disrespect to them, but they have used their stuff up a little bit earlier than the leaders do. The leaders know the kind of tire and the kind of surface they race on here at Atlanta. It really eats tires. It eats it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And these guys know that. They're easy on the cars early in the run, and you see them smooth as silk. Not a wiggle out of one of these top 3 drivers, and that's really what's keeping them out front right now is that tire conservation mode.
Absolutely, and I heard it today during the race that I was in. Somebody said it over the race channel that basically this car on this track, as the race goes on, the cream rises to the top. And I don't mean that as an insult to anybody on track. I'm just saying that the guys that know how to handle themselves with this loose setup, like you referred to, on this track and this heat, are the ones that are going to make it to the end with the car fairly intact, and and not wind up losing it like the 61 just about did right there. He's down through the grass, through the dog leg, and back up on the track, but it looks like he made a decent little save. He's still wiggling though. Look at that, Ben.
Still sideways is Joe Hudson. Still sideways, and finally going to get it pointed in the right direction to the back stretch, and he's outside of the top 35, so he'll be falling back to the back of the field, and just keep an eye on
the only reason I was looking at him was he was one of the guys I raced with today in that race. Oh, we got a caution on track.
And we have the second caution of the night here at Atlanta, and we try and get the cause of the caution.
Jason Lester's smoking. I'm not real sure if he just blew up or what happened there. He hit the wall.
He'll be the cause of the caution. Hits the wall in the middle of the back straightaway and into the inside wall hard.
Yeah, that's
as we get the replay pulled up.
And yeah, he's going to be done, I believe. He's going to get that thing to the pits, pull him behind the garage, and that'll be the end of the race for him. And folks, that's what we were talking about. He just got wicked loose coming off that turn, and it's so hard to save this thing. A lot of drivers, for whatever reason, their instinct is to get on the gas. If they're off the gas, try to get back on the gas. But the best thing to do when these cars get out of shape, Ben, like you've learned in the past yourself, is get off the gas. Don't slam on the brakes. Just guide the car and try to get this straightened out without giving any kind of input as far as throttle or brake goes.
Absolutely, and that he hits the wall in the middle of the back straightaway, and some viewers are saying, "Man, that's pretty hard to do on a straightaway." No, these tires, if you use them up too quick, John, it's hard to drive in a straight line. It's easier to drive on the banking than it is on the back straightaway, and that's just sort of the instance that we see there. Nonetheless, pit road open. Leaders headed to pit road for the second time tonight, and I assume we'll see 4 tires on everybody here again, filled up with some Sunoco racing fuel, and get back to racing. And while they do that, we'll head to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll let you know who came out where. You're watching the Oldskoolz Graphics and Design Sunday Series in Sim500 competition on the Sim Racing Network as your leader slides through his pit box. We'll be back.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. You're watching the Sim500 Oldskoolz Graphics and Designs live on the Sim Racing Network. Tonight's broadcast, part of SRN's Triple Threat streaming live to our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And remember, no matter what platform you're watching, be sure to give the video a like or subscribe, follow, and be sure to turn on notifications wherever you're watching so you can be notified when we go live. Be sure to get social with us live or with the Sim Racing Network. You can find us on Facebook by searching the Sim Racing Network and follow us on Twitter at the SRN_. John Mustin having some internet issues, so it'll just be me in the booth for just a couple of minutes here while he gets all that sorted out, but we'll kind of run you through how the field is going to line up for this restart. It'll be Daniel Falkingham grabbing the lead back. Tommy Ryan will restart second. Chad Coleman is up to third. David Comstock comes out fourth after the mistake on pit road. Eric Arnold will be fifth. Sixth to Doy Woods. Justin Fuller seventh. Dwayne Vincent eighth. Ninth to Jordan Hightower. And Scott Simley going to round out the top 10 as field doubles up for the restart here. Second restart of the night as lights are off atop the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. So glad you've tuned in to race number 2 here in the series, live right here on the Sim Racing Network. It's been a fun one so far. 2 incidents so far tonight, serving our second caution right now. Both just single, or for the most part, single car incidents. The first one was due to some contact between 2 cars, but nonetheless, not a lot of damage being thrown around, except for this last one where Jason Lester pounded the wall pretty good. 41 cars still on the lead lap, 37 into it, easing up on the halfway point here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Field heading through 3 and 4, set for the restart. Here as we get set to see who's going to save the most tires again. Pace car going to head down to the safety of pit road. Flagman gets her to throw the rack back in the air. We're back racing in Atlanta. Great restart for the 39 of Falkingham. He grabs an early lead. Tommy Ryan going to sit there in second. Third to the 20 of Chad Coleman. Comstock fourth. Arnold fifth. And then there's a hornet's nest behind him. Doy Woods, Justin Fuller. They're battling side by side for what would be the 6th position. To the back straightaway. They'll battle it out there as you see the 22 now pulling up to the inside of the 07. That's Jordan Hightower. Hightower working his way through the field. A little bit of contact. Macklin in the 30th, sideways behind him. Saves it, but he is going to lose a plethora of positions on the front straightaway. Really got to be careful as it's going to get tight through the tri-oval there. Everybody gets by, but Macklin's still falling through the field. He's going to end up outside of the top 30 if he's not careful, and now he's got to begin his march back through the field. My, oh my. Close call there for Macklin as getting word from John Mushton. He'll be back in the booth here shortly. Had a power outage over in Louisiana. Having some storms roll through that area, especially the one last night in Columbus, Mississippi. The tornado touching down there. Thoughts and prayers to everybody in that community as a terrible situation nonetheless there. But so far, a lot of good news from what I heard out of the situation, so that's good to hear. Nonetheless, back to the race here at Atlanta. Up front, it's still Daniel Falkingham leading the show, but around the 10th position, looking at the battle between Byron Daly and the 06 there, the 13 of Dwayne Vincent and Chad Cole, and the 82. Cole really likes that high side down in 1 and 2, and watch the run. He'll get to the back straightaway. Good run down the back stretch. He'll almost clear the 13 by the time they get to turn number 3, and we'll see if he drops to the bottom. He does just that, to the bottom now, trying to get to the inside of the 07 of Doy Woods. This is, one of those cookie cutters that Chad Cole really likes, and he likes the tire conservation that goes along with it, and it shows from 34th up to 9th so far for Chad Cole, the biggest mover of the race so far tonight. Starting to spread out here, though, at Atlanta Motor Speedway, so for the time being, we'll keep an eye on that battle for the lead that's starting to develop between Tommy Ryan and Daniel Falkingham. But for the moment, we'll go corner-to-corner coverage. You won't miss anything. We'll have the race in one corner, commercials in the other. We'll be back right here on the Sim Racing Network.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Third caution of the night here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's for Paul Nicholas Cooper in the 17, having some contact with Donnie Leah. Nicholas then gets pounded by the 18 of Mike Grandy, and E.J. O'Rourke goes a little landscaping through the grass and barely makes it through. Nonetheless, though, caution out for the third time. A 3-car incident this time on the front straightaway. Man, oh man, could have been a whole lot bigger than it was, but a great job by all the drivers behind sort of making it through. So here we go, John. You saw there the caution coming out. We're working lap 47 now, easing up on that halfway point. If you're one of those guys that are real good at tire conservation, do you start, preparing for long runs on the restarts, or do you start kind of going almost full percent with these little short stints that we seem to maybe getting into here.
Well, I think that's going to depend on your track position for starters, Ben. If you're one of the guys that's up front and you're good at conserving tires and whatnot, maybe now is not the time to go at it. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, the guys that are further back, maybe bottom of the top 10, bottom of the top 20, somewhere like that, but are still decent with their tires, can kind of push the issue for 2 or 3 laps, try to get as many spots as they can, and then go into conservation mode. Make sense?
Absolutely. So we'll see what everybody does here. Some more small mistakes on pit road, not as major as ones we've seen. Tommy Ryan going to drop back a handful of positions, and it looks like Jordan Hightower in a 22, if I'm not mistaken, going to go right side only. So we'll see what that does for the 22. I'm sorry, he was on 4 tires. Just another quick stop for Hightower. He's been having some real quick stops tonight in that 22. Pit crew really on it. So 4 tires for Hightower, and he is working his way through the field. Another driver who's working his way through the field, going to be that number 82 of Chad Cole, and we'll see if we can't have a word with our in-race reporter, Chad Cole, Ben Kilcrease, SRN booth. You got a copy?
We got you, Ben. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. It seems like you guys are having fun out there on the track, and you especially starting to test the waters up on the top side, and 1 and 2 is looking pretty quick for you up there.
Yeah, not only quick, but it's not quite as loose as if you're working off the bottom in turn 2, and oh man, you just feel like a rocket ship compared to some of those other guys. Probably put 2-3 more car links on them getting there, and yeah, I just feel like Superman up there. I'm just waiting for these guys to catch on before too long, because monkey see, monkey do, how it is.
Absolutely. Talk about the tire fall off here at Atlanta. Rough surface, or not a necessarily rough surface, just a surface that eats tires, and the setup tonight looser, or more loose than what we're accustomed to in the B cars.
Yeah, surface is really abrasive to the tires and eats them up pretty quick. The setup is pretty neutral everywhere except for turn 2. Everyone has a tendency to get loose there, and as the run goes on, actually the front stretch, believe it or not, gets a little sketchy at times too. Cars will be dancing around, and it makes it interesting. But I think tires definitely be a premium here. I think we probably went about 3-4 laps there, and you see everyone came in for 4, so I think probably be the tone for the rest of the night too.
All right, bud, we'll let you get back to your job. We'll get back to ours, and wish you luck in the finish of this thing and a restart 10th here.
All right, 10-4, thank you.
There you have it, Chad Cole, our in-race reporter tonight. He's all about some dancing, John. Maybe he'll take me out to a dance one night.
Yeah. So I was just watching our lucky dog get his lap back there, and that 60 car was one of the few that we've seen so far. He went a lap down just because of the long run, but now he's gonna get his lap back. The dancing partner. Wow, Ben, I'm a little upset you didn't ask me, buddy.
You're the first choice. I was just saying if you had a.
I thought you were going to call me you're old. I really thought you were about to say you're old. Oh, Ben. Anyway, so what do you think we're going to see here? You asked me my opinion. What do you think is going to happen?
If I am a tire guy, so I'm going to just do my normal. I'm going to save from the get-go, and hopefully we get a long run going, and we can kind of really see who's the best at saving their stuff and making it all the way, till we have to come in for fuel, or all the way to the end now. Only 60 laps left in this one. As the pace car gets set to head on down to pit road, we'll rack them and stack them again, throw the laundry back in the air. We're back racing in hot Atlanta, and a real good restart there for Chad Coleman, one of the best on that outside so far tonight.
Yeah, I saw a couple of guys spin their tires on this 123-degree track temperature surface right here, so that's no surprise there. And I tell you what, we got a dogfight back here in about 8th place. It looks like they're slicing and dicing back there for this position. That's going to be the Tommy Ryan car, 99, the 06 next to him of Byron Daly. They were just, one was outside, one went inside, and they came out the turn and swapped positions for a second there, Ben.
Absolutely, and just in front of them, you saw Justin Fuller. He had a handful of wheel off of turn 2. That car really jumped out of him, or out from under him there, as everybody kind of checks up, gets on the brakes real hard. Down in turns number 1 and 2, boy, we have got a train of cars racing down into turn 3. Here's Hightower looking to the inside of Comstock. Almost a little bit of contact there between those two veterans.
Jordan's got something to prove. You know, he's had a couple of rough runs these last few weeks in another series and in the Sunday night series. So he's got to prove something, that he can be a part of this and be competitive. And he's got that hot sauce on board. So I'm sure, you know, he's taking a couple of swallows of that under caution and, you know, getting himself perking to high power there.
Oh, man. You could say he's turning the heat up right now on
That's
the 42
it. Turn the
machine.
heat up. Look at you.
So that'll be the battle for third. Behind them, the battle for sixth. It's between the 06 and the 99 of Tommy Ryan. Daly going to try and make the move on Ryan again as they work down the front straightaway. Give it to him there. He'll clear him into turn number 1. Fuller going to the top shelf, as is that 82 of Cole. Cole almost up and into the wall there. He like it up top, but not against the safer barrier, literally.
I was gonna say, some people like a little more space between their car and the barrier there. You know, maybe Coleman likes to play a little dangerous. I don't know. That was a little too close for me.
Watching Fuller, he made the same line as Cole did. Didn't go quite as high, but got a good run on Hightower and made the pass on him down in 3 and 4. And Fuller, you know, maybe he's tuned into the broadcast. Maybe did a little bit of listening, a little bit of research. He's going to get to the outside of the 42 here.
Look at that run.
Fuller.
Wow.
They figured out the top shelf, the way to go down in 1 and 2. We'll see how long it takes everybody to kind of slowly start to work their way up the racetrack.
I'm telling you, Ben, that's what we saw earlier today in the long beat. Oh, he got the wall right there. That's what cost him some momentum, or maybe not. He didn't even get out of the gas.
Didn't get out of the gas. Cost him maybe half a car length in this side-by-side battle, stacking up the field behind him. Look at Tommy Ryan there. He's going to try the outside lane now as Fuller, little sideways off two there. Saves it. Almost going to get the wall there on the backstretch. A great battle here just inside the top 5.
Now, there's another thing to keep in mind. Some guys don't know how to drive that outside lane. I mean, there's one thing to know it's there and try and use it, but you got to know how to treat your throttle up there in that high line, Ben. You know, if you overpower that car up top, you're going to wind up in the barrier or getting snappy loose coming off and taking yourself out.
Absolutely. It is a fine line. Almost, it's completely different than running the bottom. It's almost like working the cushion on a dirt track. You get up there and you have to really just rely on, your awareness of where your car is and the limits of your car as far as putting the power down, et cetera, et cetera. And Fuller really has taken to that top side. Now he's looking to get the second position away. He's to the outside of Chad Coleman. This will be a battle for the runner-up spot.
Absolutely loving that high side right now, isn't he? I tell you what, it's the place to be. It's like Chad said during our interview there under caution. You feel like Superman up there. That car's got so much power coming off those turns. You get such a great run going down the stretch. But again, you got to be careful with that speed going down into the turn. And it looks like it's going to cut down in front of the 20 car there and hit back to that low side. Which, whatever you want, buddy. I think I would just. Oh, we got one way down in the grass there. Who was it? 22?
That's Hightower, still sideways, still tagging the grass. Gets it back straight before he gets to turn 1, and we stay green. Fuller, though, to the top shelf. Falkingham up in the lead, John. I think he's just kind of sitting there, letting out, maybe letting these guys intentionally catch him, thinking that we may be getting set up for a long run here.
It's possible, and that's what he wants to see, though. Guys like him and Comstock want to see this thing go green as far and long as they can. We're a little bit past halfway now, Ben. Lap 60 coming across the line. So, yeah, he wants to see this thing go green all the way if we can, because that's where they excel. They love those old tires, man.
50 laps to go here at Atlanta coming up this time by. And, man, these battles for the inside the top 5, they are just going at it. Comstock, Daly, Coleman. Close call there as Daly really put the pinch on the 20 machine. What great racing we're seeing here with 50 to go.
I'm finding this race a little more entertaining than today's Cup race, to be honest with you. The restarts were awesome, but the race itself got a little snooze festy for me. But these guys are putting on one hell of a show. Look at this. Ryan, he's going to ease up that outside line now, trying to get some. In the meantime, up in front of him, Fuller was dirt tracking, coming off turn 2 right there on that high side. Still didn't even get out of the throttle.
You know, if you're going to run the top shelf, you might as well use up that right rear quarter panel, keeping the car straight, too. That's how they do it in the dirt late model world, and Fuller almost had to do that off of turn number 2. Didn't lose a lot of ground to the 39 machine, just a little bit there at the line. It's just under 0.4 of a second, 3.5 tenths for Fuller up to Falkingham. The battle going on behind him still as Fuller trying to make that outside work. Gets a little loose there as Falkingham able to open up his lead just a tick more.
Back behind them, we've got a pretty strong fight between Comstock, Daly, Coleman in that 20, the 99, and Tommy Ryan. There were 3 distinct lines. You had Ryan way up high by the safety barrier. You had Daly kind of in the middle, and Comstock was down low. It was really fun to watch, man. Oh, caution on the track.
And a caution on the racetrack again. That'll be the 4th time tonight, and it's for Brian Chambliss in the 25. And really not a fault of his own there. He was the main cause of the incident, but the 61 of Joe Hudson got loose and come across, and man, Chambliss almost had it clear, but it's turned hard into the safer barrier.
Yeah,
that's pretty much going to end his race.
Yeah, it's probably going to be in for him. That's unfortunately unfortunate for him. He might be able to get back and get some repairs made, but the problem he's going to see now with all that nose damage he's got is his car is going to overheat pretty easily. You know, the longer we go here, so I have to keep an eye on that. In the meantime, pit stops again, Ben, and we have seen it a couple times tonight. These guys are making bonehead moves in the pits and costing themselves track position.
Bonehead, one way to describe it. You know, these guys, just the pit road seems to be their the kryptonite for their Superman.
It really does, yeah.
And, you know, we've already had the mention of Superman tonight, so we've got kryptonite down on pit road.
You don't forget anything, do you?
We're just throwing it all in, and we're going to see who is going to be the cleanest on pit road, because you know, if you are the cleanest, you get in clean, get out clean, John, there's a pretty good chance if you're in the top 5 that you're going to get the lead, because everybody around you has been prone to making mistakes tonight. Well, watch them as they head down pit side this time by. Good thing for Chad Cole there in the 82. He gets to peel off early. Started way back in the 34th starting position, so he gets to head in a little bit earlier than everybody else. But here comes the top 5 working their way to their pit stalls. Fuller going to overshoot. Comstock overshoots a little bit, and here we go. The race on the cruise now underway, and it's really just a matter of luck now, John. If you get a good pit stop here, you have a good opportunity to come out with a handful of positions, just like Byron Daly.
Wow, I was watching Falkingham getting wiggly loose right there, come out of the pits. That could have been bad. That could have been real bad.
Could have been. Saved it. Byron Daly, though, going to have the fastest pit stop that round of a caution pit stop. So he'll lead us back to the... It took 4. He'll lead us back to the green flag. That'll be coming up here on the Sim Racing Network. We're going to go corner to corner. And when we come back, we'll bring you that restart. You're watching the Old School Graphic Design Sunday Series live right here on the Sim Racing Network.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah. Isn't arsenic rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
My doctor calls me and says, Chris, I have the results of your scan. This is saying you have lung cancer. And that was probably the single most shocking thing anyone's ever told me in my life.
How can I have lung cancer? I'm 39. How can I have lung cancer? I do kick myself almost daily for ever starting smoking. I really do.
Quit your way. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's Byron Daly with the fastest pit stop there. He'll lead us back to the green flag tonight, and for the first time, I do believe we'll have a new leader for the restart, John, and going to be interested to see what Falkingham is able to do on that outside lane here.
Well, he's been the control car, Ben, so he's not used to this, having to wait for somebody else to go thing. So this will be interesting to see as we come now through 3 and 4 here, and the pace car gets ready to duck off. I think it's going to be interesting to watch.
We're going to see what's going to happen. Who's going to go to the top shelf quick? Who's going to be able to make the moves as time is starting to run out here at Atlanta. Race number 2, and Falkingham going for 2 in a row. Green flag back in the air. A decent restart for Falkingham. A great restart, though, for Byron Daly as he leads the field into turn 1.
And down low is the 99 going through 1 and 2, trying to get that second spot away from Falkingham. I don't think he's going to make it work right there. Falkingham gets a great run coming back on the outside, going down the backstroke.
They'll go side by side for the runner-up spot. Fuller in the number 5 there. He'll close up to the tail tank, or the rear bumper of Falkingham. Boy, I've got sprint cars on the mind. Yeah, Chad Cole there has worked his way into the top 5. Fuller tags the wall again in turn 4. Not really helping the right side of that race car, but not really slowing him down on the other hand either.
He's making those on-track engineering adjustments, Ben. Oh, he got him way
Oh, and now
hard.
he's got the wall, and now he's sideways and saves it for the time being.
So from 4th to about 13th or 14th, it looks like for him, that was a close call, but a great save on his part.
That goes back to, anybody can run the top. You just have to know how to run it right. Fuller knows how to run it right. He just went in a little bit too deep there trying to get everything he could on this restart and really messed his momentum up there. And, next lap he's right back up to the same line. So it's not going to scare him away from the top side. Not yet.
Can't be scared. And my Louisiana math let me down. He only fell at 10. I say only fell at 10. It could have been a lot worse for him, but that's not too bad. He's just going to make his way back up there. And look at that, boy. He squeezed that 12 down pretty tight there. He almost got a nice little tap from him, but he made it through. And he's going to start working his way back to the front now from that little slip up there.
Oh, Tommy Ryan had an incident.
Yeah, he slapped the wall.
So Ryan going to get slowed up, and that's going to make him 3 wide off turn 2. Fuller going to back out of it there, let everybody kind of funnel off. And, man, oh, man, big moment there for Tommy Ryan, who was a challenger for the lead at one point in this race. Speaking of a challenger for the lead, here comes Falkingham. He almost put the bumper to Daly off turn 4.
We didn't think it was going to take very long for Falkingham to get back up there, and it hasn't. I tell you what, that 06 is showing some left rear damage. I'm not real sure he didn't actually hit him right there.
Hey, John, you want to know how many positions Chad Cole has made up in this race?
31, according to my Louisiana math.
31 positions. He's up to 3rd.
That's insane.
With just under 40 laps to go. A great drive for Chad Cole there in the 82. And he's not done yet.
He's not. Well, he's making that car work real good down that bottom line in 3 and 4. And here we go. Falkingham's going to try the inside again on the 06 of Daly. I don't know if he's going to make it work down there in 1 and 2. Maybe in 3 and 4. But look at Coleman way up there on the high side, trying to get that power run off of 2.
Watch him. He'll close up to the rear bumpers of these 2 guys in front of him as well. On board with Cole there for a second, and still on board with him as he races down into turn number 3. Closes right back up to the rear bumpers. Great top 3 battle here, all going after one position, and it's the lead.
I tell you what, this is fun to watch with these 3 guys right here, and they're all almost running the same line there, except for Cole. I don't even know why I said that. They're not running the same line. 2 are down low and he's up high, but they're all running the same line through 3 and 4 is what I meant to say there, Ben. And look at that run he gets. Well, he closes right up on that back bumper there.
Really got to be careful, too, as a driver, John, heading down into 3 here, not to overrun it. Look at Falkingham. Talk about a power move to the outside of Daly, trying to get to the top side, and he'll get a bumper on the 06 down the front stretch. Daly, though, going to cut the quad and try and close up in front. He does. Blocks him for the time being. What a show these guys are putting on up front.
Absolutely, but look at this run the 39 gets coming off of 2. Cuts it down hard coming off of 2 right there. Gets a pretty decent run. Got him out of there down the backstretch. He's pulling Cole along with him in that 82. Let's see what they do down here in 3 and 4.
A spectacular show with 35 laps remaining here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Top 3 throw a blanket and a very small one over them at that, as they are duking it out up front here. Daly, Falkingham, and Cole, and don't look now, but Comstock wants to join this party as well.
Yep, Comstock is sneaking his way up there is what I was trying to say. It's almost like a tongue twister there. And I'm mesmerized by this fight up front. It's like they're so clean to each other, and nobody wants to put a bumper to the other one, you know. And so just kind of like, you know, they'll ease up to each other and they'll back off a little bit. This is kind of fun to watch.
The accordion effect really coming in here late in the going, and I'm sure once we get within 20 to go, we may see a little bit more close quarters in this top 3. We may see it, though, over the next couple laps as that group behind them starts to reel them in. They are inching closer and closer. That's Comstock leading Coleman. And the battle for 6th, Eric Arnold and Jordan Hightower. They're going to go side by side. They'll battle it out for that position for the time being. Hightower works the top side better than Arnold does the bottom in 3 and 4, and Hightower in a 22 going to prevail, at least for the time being. Chad Cole, though, in that 82, still determined to make that top side work, and he's going to have a good run off turn 2 this time. Really worked the center well through 1 and 2 there, and look at him just close up to the 39.
That was a fantastic run he got coming off of turn 2 there. They're not really moving it up too high in 3 and 4. I've seen some guys back further in the field trying that high side in 3 and 4, you know, middle to high line there. But these 3 up front are keeping it down low. But then you come down through the dog leg here into 1 and 2, and you'll see Cole way up high. Look at that. Boom. Takes it up high while the guys in front of him are just staying down there that low line. Let's see what kind of a run Cole can get here coming off of 2 this time.
Cole is all the way above the furthest, the top seam there. He's up in the 3rd groove of pavement. You know, when they run the paving truck around here, it can only pave so wide, and he's in that very top portion of pavement. Not the very high line. He's about a car length or 2 off the wall, but he's still right above that very top seam, and it is fast for him. He plants the left sides right about on that seam, right in the apex there, John, and it's really fast.
Yeah, he's loving it up there, and he's making some really good ground. But his weak spot is definitely 3 and 4, Ben. That's where he's losing his ground. He's losing his momentum coming off 4. I think if he's smart, he'll probably try and move his car up just a little bit sometime in the next few laps, maybe up to the middle groove in 3 and 4, and see if that doesn't work better for him.
That's what I would do as well, just to experience it. Even if you lose a tenth or half a tenth, you can gain it back down in 1 and 2. And I've also got to be worried about his tires down here in 1 and 2. Not only is he he's obviously running a little bit faster on the top side, keeping up the momentum. Also running a little bit further in distance as far as, you know, around the racetrack. So that's got to be adding just a little bit extra tire wear to that 82. And I'm interested to see how that kind of shapes the rest of this race here, as we're now under 30 laps to go, 29 there at the line. And look who's joined Cole at the top side of the racetrack. Falkingham trying to make something work, trying to get a run on that 06.
Yeah, I was just fixing to say I saw Falkingham working the wheel real hard. He got a little bit loose last time by come out of 2, and he immediately went up to that top side in 3 and 4, and he's trying it again 3 and 4. And I think what it was, he was just waiting for that car to start showing the loose side the further on they got in this run before he moved up, and he's figured out now it's time to go up high. In the meantime, somewhere back there, I saw somebody get wicked loose coming off 2 just now, all the way down the inside. We're going to start seeing it now, Ben. We're at that time in this run, about 15 laps in, where these guys, the tires will start screaming at them. and saying, hey, you've been on me too. Look at that. Look at Comstock. Wow.
Absolutely, yeah. Comstock really has made up a lot of ground on these top threes. Well, he hasn't made up ground. He's caught the top three. And look at him. He's just got so much more speed in the center of the turn than Cole does. He had to jump out of the throttle there and really affected his exit off a turn 4. Falkingham up front, going to look low on Daly. Not quite close enough to make a move down into turn number 1. Cole looks like he's starting to fade just a little bit. That 82 as the top 2 in front of him start to pull away. Falkingham had his hands full off of turn 2. Didn't lose a lot of time to Daly, but man, these guys starting to slide around on these older tires.
That's the part of the run that I love, though, Ben, watching these guys deal with slick track, slick tires. And speaking of the track, our track temperature hasn't really gone down at all. It's 127 degrees, Ben. That's insane. So this is just going to make things even more slippery and slick for them out there on these tires.
That is a warm track indeed. Oh man, Cole getting ever so close to that wall. I think as the run goes on and on, he starts to flirt with the safer barrier more and more. And, you know, I'm keeping my eye on Chad Coleman back here in the 20. He may be still saving some stuff. He and Eric Arnold, a good run, by the way, for the 31 there, who sits 6th. These guys, they're starting to close in on these top 4 as well. John, we could have a 6-car race for the lead in the final 10 laps if it keeps going the way it is.
Hell, you know what I say, Ben? The more the merrier, man. Bring it. Let's go. Let's get 10 cars up in there within, like, you know, oh, we got a caution.
And just as we start to get excited about the long run, DeMarco Starks in the 21 going to spin it over in turn number 3 and 4. And he was one of those drivers trying to run the top shelf on that side of the racetrack and got up into the wall. He and Ryan Cole Wilson both tagged the apron and then some more contact afterwards. He spins it out, puts us under caution for the 5th time here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. He got loose, got into the 60 car. The car got into Ryan, and was just on from there. Sorry, excuse me. Well, talking about voices going out on there, Ben. But I'm interested to see right here now. We got, what is it, 25 laps to go, something like that. You think anybody be crazy enough to track 2 tires here and get a little more track position?
Oh man, if they did, they'd have to be hoping for a caution, you know, within 5-10 laps. I just don't know if we'll see that at this point in the race. Is, you know, John, this could be though the final stop of the race, and that's really going to determine how well these drivers are in and out of pit road. We've talked about it. Mistakes have been the determining factor of who gets the lead, who gets the positions inside the top 5 all race long. So we'll watch these top 5 guys. Cole's already pulled off. Here comes Daly. He'll pull into his pit box nice and clean for Daly. Comstock has been the one who usually makes the mistakes. He gets in clean that time, as does Falkingham. So everybody going to be pretty much equal there. One driver missed their pit stall. That was the 32 of Donnie Leah. But we'll see who's going to win the race off of pit road. Here comes Daly. Falkingham puts the power down. It's a drag race at 60 miles an hour, and Daly, I think, is going to get it.
That was fun to watch.
Boy. That may be the winning move of the race right there for Daly. That winning the race off of pit road. So we'll wait and see. We'll take a quick break here on the Sim Racing Network. We'll come back just in time for the restart. You're watching the Oldskoolz Graphics and Designz Sunday series in Sim500 action. We'll be back.
My doctor calls me and says, Chris, I have the results of your scan. This is saying you have lung cancer. And that was probably the single most shocking thing anyone's ever told me in my life.
How can I have lung cancer? I'm 39. How can I have lung cancer? I do kick myself almost daily for ever starting smoking. I really do.
Quit your way. Visit
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
Welcome back to Hampton, Georgia and Atlanta Motor Speedway as we're set to restart this race with just 20 laps to go at Atlanta. And here we go, John. This one's really going to get interesting. We've seen some short runs. We've seen some long runs. But this one is going to come down to who is the better over any kind of run.
Absolutely, Ben. Before we go green here, we got to remember there's less than 20 laps to go, which is right there at the kind of like the envelope where these tires really start to get crazy slick on them. So we might see some guys get a little more aggressive now on this restart.
We'll wait and see. That's all we can do until they fire off and get some laps on them. Pace car to pit road. Flagman green flag. It's back out in the air, and we are back underway. Good restart for Daly there. Not so good for Falkingham. He certainly did.
Yeah, I think Falkingham was trying to time it so he could get a good start there with the leader of Daly. And Daly didn't go, and he thought he was going to, so he had to check up, which allowed Comstock to take that second spot away from him. But we'll see how long that lasts. Like I said, these guys are going to be able to push these cars a little bit harder, I think, Ben, because they know that this race will be over before those tires will really start to give out on them.
Absolutely. Talk about push them harder. Comstock with a head full of steam. Where does he go? To the inside is the 42. Here comes the 42 of Comstock, challenging Byron Daly. Daly running the middle down in 1 and 2. If I was him, I would have went up to the safer barrier, but nonetheless, he's going to hold on to the lead, at least for now, and he'll be able to clear the 42 by the time they get down to turn 3. Look at this dog fight here, John. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars, all tail to nose off turn 4. Daly leads the train.
Nose to tail they are, Ben, and look at this. Cole down there on an 82 car trying to get his way down the inside line there underneath the 39 of Falkingham. In the meantime, Comstock got a little loose on his entry to 1 there, which is going to cause Falkingham to lose some momentum himself. And Cole might pull off a 2-car pass here when we go down into 3.
Wow, what a move by Chad Cole heading down into turn 1, trying to complete the pass on Comstock here, but Comstock has got that outside groove in 3 and 4. That's the preferred line, at least at this moment of the race, and Comstock going to pull out just ahead of Cole down here into turn number 1 and 2. They'll try to side-by-side again. Cole, can he slide the 42 off 2 here? Not going to be able to put the power down in time. They'll still race side-by-side, and Byron Daly up front. He's loving what he sees.
Absolutely. He's loving seeing this fight in his mirror. And I'm telling you right now, at this point in the race, there's just too much good grip up there in that middle to high line. You can't make the pass down there like the 82 of Cole's trying to do. In the meantime, look at this. Falkingham thought about taking it 3 wide with a dog leg, thought better of it. And behind them, the 31 is poking his nose in there. Eric Arnold with a really good run tonight, Ben. He's in 5th position right now. He wants to make a fight for this this 3-way fight for second, I guess we could call it.
Absolutely. Now it's a 4-way fight. You mentioned Falkingham thinking better of it. I don't think he thought better. I just think the hole closed and he couldn't fit his car in there. That's the only reason we weren't 3 wide on the front stretch. And these guys, 2 by 2 they go. And boy, Comstock doesn't want to give up the outside. Cole doesn't want to give up on that inside. And Daly just says, that's all right, boys. Battle it out for the next 14 laps, and let me try and take it to victory. Comstock up the track, 3 wide. Cole's got to get up, and he's got to slide the 42 here if he wants to hold that second spot. He'll do just that. Now look for the crossover heading down into 3. Not going to get there just in time for the 42. Chad Cole makes it up to 3rd.
I think if Comstock, he's in 2nd, by the way. I think if Comstock hadn't wiggled right there on the exit of 2, he might have been able to pull that crossover off, is what I'm trying to say. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
But didn't work out for him. Meantime, Cole has set his sights on that lead of Byron Daly, and he's cut down into it quite a bit. In the meantime, back here in 3rd, man, I tell you what, Arnold got right up on the bumper to 39 and got him loose there in the turn. And Comstock is able to power by on the outside and maintain his spot there for 3rd. But it looks to me like Arnold's really impatient. He wants to get by Falkingham as quick as he can there. Behind them, look at this. We got Coleman and the 20 and the 22 car of Hightower. They're poking their nose in this fight as well.
That they are. Falkingham got loose out of 4. That allowed Arnold to close up to the rear bumper. And here comes the challenge for the lead. Chad Cole looks to the inside of Byron Daly to the back straightaway. Can't get the bumper on him there. Which way does Cole go? Does he go to the outside? Does he go to the inside? 3 and 4. He looks at the top. Now he swings back to the bottom. Now he's going to put the bumper almost in the center of the turn. 12 laps to go here in Hot Atlanta.
Mr. I don't need to qualify at this track. He's worked his way up from 34th place, people. He's in 2nd place, and he wants that lead, and he is right there on the bumper. Goes into 1 and 2, gets into the little bit of the 06 there, but gets off of him and lets him recover there. Ben, this is getting crazy, man.
Holy smokes, if he didn't touch the 06, you couldn't have slid a credit card in between the two. Down in turns number 1 and 2, and if I'm Comstock, I'm going to be a little bit conservative here and let these two race it out because they're going at it pretty hard. Look at Daly. He walks it up the racetrack in turn 4. That allows Cole to get the run down the front stretch. Daly throws the box. Cole's almost in the grass as he dives to the inside, side by side for the lead.
He's not going to make that pass right there. Not right now, I can tell you that. But I'll tell you what it's going to do, though. He's going to keep that area. Look, I'm sorry. I'm so tongue-tied watching this fight. He didn't lose too much ground, is what I was trying to say, going through 1 and 2, but I just don't think he's going to be able to make that pass, Ben, not down low.
We'll have to see where Coleman decides to put his car over the next now 10 laps to go here at Atlanta. He's running out of time. Johnny's worked his way through the field from 34th to 2nd. He knows how to work traffic. Where does he try and make the pass? Is it in turn 1? Can he keep up the momentum? I think, John, if he can see to the inside of the 06 by the time they get back to turn 3, pull even with him, I think he'll have a good shot. But in order to do that, he's got to have a real good 1 and 2 on the bottom.
I think his best bet, I'm going to be honest with you, Ben, his best bet right now is to get up alongside the 06 like he has been coming down through the dog leg right here and do not let the 06 cut down. I would hog that middle line there and just try to, make the 06.
Falkingham sideways behind. Sorry, John, and Falkingham's going to get turned around. Saves it, and they're scrambling down the back straightaway. Fuller is going to wreck the 22. Hard into the wall goes Hightower. He saves it. We're still straight. Hightower now back up across the track and upside down for the 22.
Oh, my gosh, what a wreck. That was insane. I mean, this just really turned the whole field upside down right there, and that might be the end of the race there, Ben.
Had some marker breakers coming in there a little bit late. Didn't really help the situation, but still 8 to go. I think we'll restart the race here, John. But man, oh man, Hightower takes a big tumble down in 3 and 4, and that all started with the 31 machine getting into the bumper of Falkingham. That turned Falkingham sideways. That bunched up everybody. Hightower was, just minding his own. He was still slow on the track, and Fuller came in there and bull in a china shop and kind of just turned the whole field upside down on the backstretch there and really took out some good cars there, putting us under caution yet again here at Atlanta Motor Speedway and setting us up for a dash to the finish.
I tell you what, you weren't kidding. I just went back and watched that myself. The 31 just totally ran over the 39 there. I mean, just totally ran him over.
That's that point in the race, John. Under 10 to go. The bumpers come out. Boys have at it. You know, you'd move your grandma to win the race, and boy, did Macklin slide into his box there. He actually hit the pit wall. He slid so far.
Ouch.
But man, oh man, this is the stop right here. Who's going to do what? Macklin going to come out on 2 tires, it looks like. O'Rourke on 2 tires. Falkingham, 4, and everybody else behind, Daly and Cole, they're going to come out 1 and 2, or what would be now 3 and 4. If the 2 guys in front continue to stay out like they are. Looks like Doy Woods in the 07 stays out. Michael Keaton in the 7 has stayed out. So, boy, oh boy, John, this is going to be a restart for the ages here if those 2 guys stay out on those old tires.
I'm holding my breath. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just like, wow, man. This ought to be interesting.
Oh, boy. So here we go. It doesn't look like either one have intentions to come to pit road.
Nope.
No.
Oh,
they're
boy.
They're serious about it. They're staying out. O'Rourke did miss his pit box. He'll come back down. So that'll leave 2 drivers out on old tires. Macklin, I do believe, will be on 2 after his wild pit. Actually, no, Macklin didn't even take tires. He slid through a stop and didn't even service the car. So first 3 drivers, no tires, and really and truly, John, the driver that this benefits is going to be Byron Daly. He'll be on the outside, still behind the driver that, you know, is on old tires, but he doesn't have 2 drivers. He doesn't have 2 drivers in front of him on old tires.
And he'll be on the outside. His best bet there is probably try to hug. I would. This is just me. I'm a kamikaze. I'd hug that safer barrier going down to the 1 on the restart. Absolutely. Because you gotta think that the 7's probably going to run that middle line there, just trying to keep as close as he can to the 07. Bailey's got the tires to make it work up high like that on that restart. But if I'm Chad Cole right now, I'm probably cussing up a storm. I really am.
Man, it's going to be a restart here, that's for sure. I'm
and
not going to be hugging.
I mean, they can't change lanes until they cross the line, right?
That's true. I'm not going to be hugging the safer barrier. I'm going to be hugging the steering wheel going down into turn 1 because there's no telling what's going to happen here. We haven't really
in one hand, your crucifix in the other.
We haven't really seen a restart on old tires, John, and we've already seen wheel spin on new tires.
Mm-hmm.
So, boy,
Yes,
oh
sir.
boy, on these old tires, just hang on, buckle up. We know why we have the 5-point harness in our broadcast chairs, and this is the reason why. Right here,
Tighten
the
'em up.
restart with 4 laps to go, and the next flag, whether it be the caution or the checkered, would end it. And you know, John, I'm statistically with these 3 drivers on old tires. Nothing against the 3 drivers, just a situation with everybody trying to get by these guys. It's usually not the cleanest. So whoever's going to get to the lead quickest here may have the shot at taking home victory.
I think you're wrong. I think it's going to be whoever survives the wreck that's about to happen on this restart is going to take the victory.
Let's hope
Sorry,
we go green
I'm
all the
a
way to
pessimist.
the end. But boy, this is really worrying up front here. You got to do what you got to do, and you got to put your team in position to win, and that's exactly what these 3 drivers are doing right now. Who is going to come out on top at Atlanta here in race number 2? They'll stack them up 2 by 2 by 2. The restart of the night has Keaton in the gas really early in the 7. I don't think that's going to hold up.
I don't think it will either.
For Keaton, and down into turn number 1. They're all sideways. They're bunching up. Keaton gets out of the way. Woods is out of the way. Daly to an early lead. There's contact behind. We'll keep an eye on that. But for the most part, Byron Daly has the early lead into turn 1.
He does absolutely have the early lead in turn 1. And second place, Eric Arnold's just so far back. I'm really not sure anybody, even if they get by Arnold, can make a play for this. But look at this, 3 wide coming off of turn 4. We got one down in the grass.
Oh, Coleman, hang on. He's not going to do a pass in the well, he makes a pass in the grass, just didn't pass any cars there as we take the 3 to go there. And Eric Arnold doing everything he can to reel in the driver of the 06, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. Falkingham's got his hands full off turn 2. A lot of scrambling going on. You'd think you were at a Waffle House and eggs was on the menu if you weren't sure you were watching a race.
And I tell you what, look who's in third place. Somebody we haven't talked about once tonight. Steve Marinac. He's got his hands full of that 42 car right there as they come across the line right here, 2 to go. And Marinac got him a great run going here right now, but I think they're going to lose that spot here shortly to Comstock. In the meantime, behind Comstock is Cole in that 82. And another one we haven't talked a whole lot about, the 33 car of Ryan Howard. This is kind of a result of all that mix-up we had at the beginning of the race there, Ben, where the big jumble with the jump on the start by Keaton and the other guy, I'm sorry.
It was Doy Woods here on the inside, kind of bunched up the field. Nonetheless, though, white flag here at Atlanta Motor Speedway and down into turn number 1 and 2. It's all Byron Daly out in front of this field. Played the strategy right there with the 4 tires. They'll battle it all behind him. Eric Arnold not going to be close enough to make the move on Daly as he heads through 3 and 4. Byron Daly kind of came out of nowhere from halfway on and off turn 4, up by the wall, almost into it. Daly going to win race 2 at Atlanta.
Behind him comes Eric Arnold, who had a decent run tonight, but Steve Marinac, how about that guy? Like I said, we didn't say a whole lot about him except for, at the start when we did the top 10 start there, but he brings it home in third, so good run for him. Chad Cole got him a 4th place from 34th, Ben. That's a hell of a run for him.
Great run, 30 positions there for Chad Cole. There was a massive crash at the end of the race. Won't worry too much about that. I don't think it changed too much of the finishing order, but a couple cars getting together, coming across the finish line, having a tussle down into turn number 1, but it's all Byron Daly, and he's going to burn them down right here on the front straightaway. A winner at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Byron Daly, in that plain Jane 06. We'll talk to him and the rest of the podium finishers right after this. You're watching the Oldskoolz Graphics and Designz Sunday series in Sim500 competition live on the Sim Racing Network. We'll be back.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
My doctor calls me and says, Chris, I have the results of your scan. This is saying you have lung cancer. And that was probably the single most shocking thing anyone's ever told me in my life.
How can I have lung cancer? I'm 39. How can I have lung cancer? I do kick myself almost daily for ever starting smoking. I really do.
Quit your way. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway post-race show here in race number 2 for the Oldskoolz Graphics and Design Sunday series. And John Mushin has made his way down to pit road where he is caught up with the driver who finished runner-up tonight. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're going to go to the driver who finished third tonight. He is in team speak here, John. We're going to send you down to pit road to chat up with Marinac in the 15.
That's right, Ben. I've caught stuff down here, and man, No offense, but we didn't see you a whole lot after that first lap there, Steph. And boom, you got yourself a third place run. Talk to us about your race tonight, bud.
Yeah, thanks. It was a really up and down race. Qualified pretty good. I think I qualified sixth and ran in the top 10 for the first half of the race. And then my connection just decided to take a crap on me, and I got black flagged. I had to go down pit road and go all the way to last. And then luckily for me, right before I got lapped, the caution came out. So I got back on the lead lap at the tail end and just worked my way up from there. And I had a really good spot on that last restart to get through all that. And I got through it on the inside and got up to fourth place there. And then got by, I think it was the 39 for third. So I'm very happy with that, but it was a very up and down race.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, to bring it home third after that restart's amazing. Congratulations on that. Congratulations on that. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for your third place run?
Yeah, just thank you guys for doing the broadcast. Thank you to James Collins for doing my paint scheme, and thank you to Joey and all the other admins at Sim500.
All right, folks, you heard it right there. That was Steph Marinac, who, qualified pretty good and then just kind of held his place there in the top 10 and brought it home third time after that crazy restart. I'm going to see if I can work my way down here and find our second place driver.
Crazy restart indeed, and I bet Eric Arnold, who's going to chat with John here in just a second, bet he wishes he had a couple more laps there on that restart. John is, boy, crazy is about the only word we can describe that restart.
That's right. I have caught up with Eric Arnold down here in the 31. And Eric, man, that restart, I bet it woke you up there, didn't it?
Yeah, I just stuck the outside and just held the gas and just hoping everything would work out. I don't even know what the heck happened. I do feel kind of guilty. I don't know if I caused that wreck, the last caution there, but I felt bad for bumping into Daniel there.
We're not gonna point any fingers there, but it was a racing thing, I'm sure. I have a question for you though. That restart, was it a one eye or a two eye open restart for you?
Oh, I had both eyes open. I couldn't even see him really. Some of the cars were blocking the view, so I had no clue what was going on. I just knew it was gonna be chaos, and I just do my best, see what happens.
Well, apparently the 7 car of Mike Keaton was in a hurry to get to his hot dog after the race, so we'll let that go at that. But congratulations on your runner-up position. I'm willing to bet that you were wishing for a few more laps there. Maybe you could get your hands on Byron Daly and see what you could do with him, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if he was up front all day or not. I felt like I was really good on the short to mid-run. I could really keep it low on that white line and gain time on guys when I was pushing it. But I don't know. I feel like I kind of don't deserve to win, but I don't know. I had a fun race. This track is slick. It was a great time.
Well, we had fun watching you guys. Anybody you want to thank for your runner-up spot?
I'll thank Sim500. Joey and Chris and all those guys who put on this show, do all the sponsors together. And I wish I could have made Daytona, but fortunately had to work. But no, you guys, I can't wait to watch the broadcast from this thing. I just love this. I love doing this.
Well, I hope you enjoy yourself tonight, and congratulations again on your runner-up spot. There you have it, folks. Our runner-up, second place, Eric Arnold in 31 car. And if I'm not mistaken, Ben has made his way down to victory lane for the Oldskoolz Graphics and Designz victory lane interview.
Thank you very much, John. Byron Daly started 16th in this race, made his way through almost half of the field to find himself in victory lane here in race number 2. And man, oh man, what a race. We had a couple of good little distance run mixed in there, Byron, and then quite a handful of the short stints, and you work your way up from 16th all the way to the win here. Talk about your race.
Yeah, it was a kind of a terrible qualifying effort there. I just completely messed up the lap, so I knew coming back from the back was going to be hard. I made it a little hard on myself, sliding through the stall early, but cleaned up those mistakes and just started logging laps, and next thing you know, I'm P3, and then all of a sudden I get a good pit stop, I'm in the lead. It's like, okay. So, took it from there and just really tried to be defensive, but not overly blocking and stuff like that. It's just so hard because you can't just run away. You'll burn your tires to the ground, but then you got guys right behind you, chasing you down. So it's always a difficult balance, but it was fun to do. I really love racing here now that the the tires fall off as far as they do. It just makes it a real challenge, and it's fun.
Makes it fun to watch as well. Talk about the caution prior to the run prior to the last caution, where we were getting a nice green flag run built up. Had we went all the way to the checkered, were you confident enough in your long run speed to maybe hold off those guys behind you?
Yeah, I was a little tight there. I was a little bit concerned. I thought if I could just get, I think it was Chad Cole who was running me down at the time. If I could just stay in front of him long enough for him to start getting tight, I thought I had a chance there. And I felt like right as the caution came out, I had just hung on long enough to maybe have that happen. So I felt pretty decent about it. You know, you could always have somebody from third on back that, you know, really save their stuff and come run you down. But I felt really good about the race from that point. The caution actually, you know, threw everything in doubt. But whatever craziness happened there on the restart kind of just played in my favor today.
Craziness indeed. A fun race, though, here at Atlanta. We congratulate you here on your victory in race number 2. Anybody you want to thank for putting you here today?
No, just thanks to you guys for broadcasting. It's always fun to watch. Sim500 for putting this on. Oldskoolz Grafix for sponsoring the series. And yeah, it's always fun to do this. So see you guys next week, hopefully.
There you have it. Byron Daly starting the season off right with a win here in race number 2. What a fun race, John. We saw the Atlanta that we've come to know and love. A track that eats tires and a track that just is hot when the sun is bearing down on it, nice and slick. And man, it was a fun race tonight.
I 1000% agree, man. I've heard these people in iRacing always complaining about iRacing broke this or iRacing won't fix that, but as far as I'm concerned, they have finally nailed it with the tire model, with the dynamic weather, the dynamic track conditions. I mean, like you just said, man, this was the Atlanta that those of us that have been watching NASCAR long enough come to love. This tire and this tire model and the combination of everything I mentioned on this track provided a great race tonight, an absolutely outstanding race tonight. We've watched these Sim500 guys now. I mean, I've been part of this broadcast for 3 months now. They've always provided great races and a good show. Talented bunch of guys, and Ben, this race tonight was awesome.
It certainly was a blast. Not only for us in the booth, but everybody we've talked to tonight. John said they've had fun, and we're going to see, sort of the same tomorrow in Trans Service Cup Series when we had race number 2 here at Atlanta, and we'll have them ready to get that one kicked off. Daytona didn't shape out like a lot of people wanted it to, but we're going to see if Chad Coleman can go for 2 and back up his win at Atlanta, or back up his win at Daytona here at Atlanta tomorrow night. That'll be live right here on the Sim Racing Network.
I think you and a certain other producer are running that race tomorrow night, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. Me, Mitch Rolo, Kevin Brown, Chad Cole.
Would that be Kevin DeBrown?
Yeah, Kevin DeBrown. All of us on crossover will be running it along with a plethora of other drivers. It'll be a full field tomorrow night, and I tell you
let me ask you something then, Ben. Did you learn anything tonight about your race tomorrow night?
Oh man, I was kind of watching. 2 different cars, 2 different beasts.
Very true, very true.
But the track is still the same, and I've got some stuff I'm going to try, and we're gonna go out and put on a show tomorrow night.
Well, I look forward to watching it. I'm sure our fans out there in viewership land are really looking forward to it, if only to watch the master Ben Kilcrease do his thing.
Well, we'll hope for a top 10, maybe top 5 if we're lucky. But that'll be tomorrow night live right here on the Sim Racing Network. John Don AA Ron bringing you the coverage live to our YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, just like tonight was. And John, as we get set to head out of Atlanta, at least for tonight, we're not going anywhere. But for tonight's race, any final thoughts here in the Sunday night series?
Well, my thoughts are pretty much what I've been saying all night. You've been saying all night. What a great race we had. Great bunch of guys. The Oldskoolz Grafix and Designz Sunday night series is proving to be really exciting, Ben. The Xfinity car is a fun car to drive. It's a fun car to watch, be driven by some of these pros we have down here. I can't wait till next week, and I really can't wait till tomorrow night's run. But yeah, I had a great time tonight. I really did.
Fun race and a blast by everybody here at Atlanta, and we can't wait to get out on the track tomorrow. We thank you for tuning in. Tonight, for John Abustion and Aaron Grosskopf, I am Ben Kilg. Almost a gross chalk there. My goodness. See what you got me on, John?
Hey,
for
that's
Aaron
what I'm here for.
Grosskopf, I am Ben Kilcrease saying good night from Atlanta. We'll see you tomorrow night. Remember, when you're out there on the roads, to put that phone down. Good night.